Happy Tuesday. Thank you for tuning in today. If this is the first time you're tuning into my page, I welcome you. My name is Boalia Desmond. I'm a wife to one, a mom of two boys, and I'm on a mission to help families create and increase generational wealth because of what Debt Freedom has done for our family. And I believe that everybody should live a life of freedom and choices. So today's message I titled Become the Observer. Become the Observer. So today I wanted to talk about really just taking the time to observe and understand you as a person, right? Taking the time to understand and observe you as a person. When was the last time you took note of the person that you are or the person that you're becoming, the behaviors that you portray? When was the last time that you took the time to say, oh, you're sure of the way that you would respond in certain situations? Or have you just kind of started to live a life where you just respond because that's how you've always responded? You respond a certain way. This is how you've always been. This is how it's always been. But yet you don't take the time to observe. Have I even grown in the last 5 years? Because if you're choosing to grow, if you really are growing, if you're making the decision to invest in yourself and invest in personal growth and development, invest in becoming the best self of who God created you to be, that means you are changing. And that takes observation of, wow, I think that typically I would respond a certain way. Now all of a sudden you're responding better. Maybe you used to freak out about something, and all of a sudden because you're growing, now that thing doesn't bother you as much anymore. Or have you taken on this identity of someone that is, rash, or somebody that just, freaks out, or somebody that just responds and just is a spontaneous, what kind of person? What kind of person are you? Who are you? Because if you're choosing to grow, you can't be the same person. You can't remain the same person as you were, because that identity and that person is not going to be able to handle the next part of your growth. And I think this is why I think it's important that we journal. It's important that we take notes. It's important that we take the time every single night to just be quiet. Or if you can do it during the day, just to be quiet and kind of make observations of what is happening around you, what is happening in you, what is happening through you. I think it's just so critical and so important that we get to know each other. We get to know ourselves. Because when we choose to get to know ourselves, that is who then we can love. And that's who we can nurture. Because as we're growing, we're going to need the support. We're going to need to support ourselves, number one, to encourage ourselves even in times, and to just understand that we were created for greatness. There's so much more inside of us than we can sometimes allow ourselves to be. So if you haven't grown, if you haven't changed in the last 5 years, it is time to take a hard look and say, are you really living? Are you really living to your best potential, to the highest potential that you can? Because you should get uncomfortable. Because as you're growing and as you're entering new territory, you should be uncomfortable. But there should be observations made as you're growing too on, oh, wow, I gotta leave that kind of behavior behind, or I've gotta stop acting a certain way or reacting a certain way. So I hope that makes sense. Become the observer of your own life and make a decision today that you're going to grow. So I thank you for tuning in, and I will see you tomorrow.